Hey hippies, welcome back. Got another tutorial for you guys. This one is a 3-piece set. It's a rolling set and I'm super excited to show you guys how I created this and everything. But before we get started, make sure you do hit that subscribe button for me and click that bell so that way you don't miss any videos that I do put out moving forward. Alright, so to get started, you're going to go ahead and unwrap your pieces. Now, this came with like 5 different individual little mold pieces, and then from there it creates like a 3-piece set, if you will. So it comes with a tray, it comes with a bottle along with the cap, and it also comes with a 2-piece grinder set. So we're going to be making all 3 of those in this video. So what I did was I went ahead and prepared about 225 milliliters of resin, and from there I am going to mix some mica powder with some yellow resin, and I'm just going to make sure that's mixed up thoroughly and I get all the lumps and bumps out that I don't want in there. Of course, I'm using my heat gun like I've shown plenty of times before. I just make sure that I thin that resin out so that way it helps disperse the mica powders throughout the resin. Now on this one, what I'm doing is I'm mixing in some glitter. So I'm making this, I pre-mix that glitter. And then from there I'm just adding in some resin so we can have a nice glitter mix. I'm not adding any mica powder to this one because I want it to be just glitter. Now we're going to start with the glitter first, and make sure you do clean your mold, and you're just going to put that glitter resin into the rim of this tray. You do need to pull at the sides of this because the way the tray is, the way the mold is shaped, it's going to create a tray that kind of has these sides that kind of go outward at an angle, so the mold reflects that, and it's a little difficult to get it in there, but once you pop it open you should be fine. I'm also adding in the red glitter mix to the other molds as well as that first layer, so that way I can make sure that it's all cohesive. So I want everything to kind of have this red mixed glitter rim on there, so that's what I'm ensuring. Don't be afraid to get in there with that popsicle stick either. It's a big help, especially when it comes to these grinder molds, because we all know like these grinder molds can give us some trouble and everything. So what I'm doing next is I'm adding in the clear resin on top of everything first, like over that glitter mix that I had poured and everything. I'm just pouring out the remaining of all that clear glitter mix, and then from there I'm going to also make sure that I use that heat gun to push it into the cracks, make sure all the little nooks and crannies are filled, there aren't any trapped bubbles, because you don't want the trapped bubbles in there when you are moving on to the next step. You're also going to see me go in with a toothpick because I want to make sure that I pop all the bubbles with this toothpick. This is just going to make sure that, you know, everything is flush within each of the holes and all the prongs are there. Spray with some alcohol to make sure you pop them, and then, you know, go through and help raise any more to the surface. Like, you can't overdo this part, so just do what's necessary. Alright, so you see me swirling, 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 just kind of getting that perfect and how I need it everywhere. Alright, so I'm going through my heat gun one more time because I want to make sure that all the bubbles have a chance to rise to the top, because they're not going to pop unless they do rise to the top. So the heat gun helps thin the resin out so the bubbles can form at the top. Then I'm just going through with this yellow resin mix. I'm pouring into all of the molds on top of, in the middle of that clear resin that I had poured previously, because I still want the clear resin to be kind of visible around the edges. I want to create like a little glitter barrier, and I don't want it to blend too deeply into the yellow mica powder that I had mixed up with that resin previously. Now I didn't mix quite enough, so I do go off camera, and on there I'm just going to mix up a little bit more resin and everything, and I'm going to color it yellow so that way I can just get back in here and fill in the molds and everything how I need to. So yeah, super quick, like just didn't make enough resin, so I would prepare just a little bit more resin than that 225 milliliters that I had told you about previously. Spray with alcohol to pop those bubbles, and you're going to let that stand for 72 hours. Now I do let it stand for 72 hours because I want it to be completely hard when I demold it, since this is going to be a functional mold and we're going to need to be able to twist the top off and onto this bottle. We don't want it sticking, so I just go ahead and let it sit, so definitely be patient. On here you see me demolding everything and just pulling everything out. Now about 8 hours after I finished that yellow layer, I did go through and do a doming layer that I didn't record. So if you do have like any imperfections, go through with just a few layers of that clear resin and that'll smooth everything out perfectly for you, so everything is nice and even. Now when it comes to this bottle, when you're demolding it, I highly suggest you kind of you pull at the edges first and then you just kind of roll it backwards. I actually broke my nail on this part. You can probably see in a follow-up video or later on in this video, I have some blue tape on my nails, so that's what happened, but here we are. So once you do get that rolled down, from there you can kind of pull and tug at it, and then you'll be able to pop that mold from the bottle. Make sure you do push the mold back into place because you don't want it to get deformed. And now we're just going to go ahead and demold the tray. That's what we have last. You've seen me demold plenty of trays before, so this should be pretty simple for you. Just go ahead and pop that out after working it from the edges. Alright, so I pre-cut my temporary tattoos from the sheet and everything. What I'm going to be doing is I just peel that plastic film off, and then I'm going to place it face down on top of my bottle. From there, I'm going to press it down using a damp cloth, and then you'll know it's ready to move because the paper itself will start sliding. And then from there, you can just go ahead and slowly pull that off. And then you're just going to see me repeat that step for all these temporary tattoos that I pre-placed and everything, and I got them in place. Alright, so once you do finish with that step and everything and the water has a chance to evaporate and whatnot, I want you to go ahead and get your clear acrylic spray paint, and you're just going to go ahead and blast a nice little quick layer over this. Now if you prefer the epoxy, that's completely fine. You can do that and allow that to cure as well. This is just a whole lot faster. It dries within an hour. So once it's dried, this is our finished product. She is absolutely stunning. I love how the tray turned out. I love how all the little symbols look. I love how the little mandala symbols look on that elephant, and just how the lotus flowers look is very esoteric vibes and giving me sacred geometry vibes as well. So this is the grinder. All the prongs are there for the most part. Now on the other piece, I was missing a few because I was working fast. So, you know, do as I say, not as I do. Take your time and make sure that all the bubbles do pop and they rise to the top, so that way you don't have those issues. But it shouldn't be too big of an issue. It's only like maybe 3 missing, so it'll still grind up beautifully. This is the tray. As you can see, this is what I was talking about with that clear little border circling the glitter, so that way the glitter doesn't go directly into that yellow. And this is how our jar turned out. She's stunning as well. I love that she has this little screw top lid, because a lot of different jars and everything that you may see in the market, they don't. So that's very nice and very convenient, and if you know, you know. So if you do like this tutorial, do make sure that you like and comment. Be sure to give feedback. Feedback is a gift, and I love seeing what you guys have to say. Until next time, hippies, I'll catch you later.